Yeah. The other thing I pulled from that video too is I thought it was so cool, like the community of your group of people that like your buddies, you just were doing it. Like you alluded to earlier, you didn't really even know what you were doing. You just were loving it and creating, and you had people in your group
Yeah.
that were like the filmers. And were you filming too, or like how much do you know, or was there like one designated kid that was the film guy?
Yeah, one of our buddies, I think it's kind of like inevitable in the crew of skate homies that at one point one of the buddies is like, okay, I'm not really trying to like achieve the
It's same
level
in
of
Moto,
pro
by the way.
skateboard status, and I'm gonna be the video guy. And not like that my buddy Jacob wasn't able to skate as well as us. He just maybe had more of an interest in the video side, and he picked it up. And I mean, now like he's a full-time skate filmer, works for this distribution called NHS, which is like independent trucks and creature skateboards and all these things. But yeah, he picked up the camera, and it's like it's just inevitable. Someone has to in the crew eventually, you know. And he was the guy that did it. But yeah, we were just skating, and you know, we're just fortunate to grow up in Southern California where skateboarding is so like prevalent in society with kids, and the level of skill here, like with anything else, is just so high. You know, you go to the track here, and the fast dudes are like the pro guys. Like I see the pro guys at Paula all the time when I go, and so it's just kind of that vibe. So you're just already entering something at that level, and you see it all the time. So I think that has a lot to do with how you kind of progress and how fast you achieve certain things, I guess, in the sport.
Did you have access to, because I'm curious to know the difference. I feel like in Moto, it has got to a point, and maybe it's been like this for a long time, where the top guys are become kind of inaccessible, even though you might physically see them there at the track. There's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
big disconnect, I think. Was there that disconnect with you growing up in with skating, or like did you have access to these guys, or did they make themselves accessible? Like if there was the best guy at
I
the skate
mean,
park versus the person just
for
trying to
me
figure it out.
personally, it was like too much access because like the people that like, I mean, you know, Andrew Reynolds, who is like one of the greatest of all time skaters, was like babysitting me while my dad would go like to the grocery store. You know, like it was just like I didn't even know what I was in. I was just so integrated into it that it was like beyond like in the industry. It was like I was like a part of like this big family of skaters. So I was always around all these pros and stuff, you know. But yeah, it wasn't. I think in California, it's like that. Like I go to the skate park, and it's just normal to see like pros, and it's not like a weird thing. And I think you're right, in Moto it feels a little more disconnected. I think it's just because it's so maybe so independent. Like once you have the helmet on and you're on the bike, you're not really like chit chatting. Like skating, you're
Good point.
sitting on the ledge for 20 minutes, like, you know, shooting the shit with people, and someone might come up and say what's up, and you can just talk for a little. It doesn't feel so like fast paced, I guess, a little more mellow. But I know that for sure anytime I've gone like on tours where we go to like the Midwest or anything like that, it's like you forget that kids trip out when they see pros for the first time. They're like kind of a starstruck situation, and it's cool that kids are still, I don't know, like just stoked to see the pros, and it's cool to connect with people that appreciate it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you might have been the wrong person to ask the that question
Yeah.
to, but yeah, absolutely. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.